I in focus? Hell. I think that's focused. On here with his AK Super Chrome. Let's see here. Let's have a seat, make myself at home. Almost. Okay. Work on the lighting over here. Bring the light to be brighter. Ooh. Helps if I turn on my phone. There it goes. That's a cool looking chrome. You do have to kind of keep building it up, though. It's like there's a moment where it's like it's kind of matte, like a matte shine. I think that's a thing. And then all of a sudden it just like pops to mirror chrome, like after it gets saturated enough. That ought to make for a fine candy paint red, though. Check the website. The manufacturer says this dries in about an hour, depending on conditions. So we'll see. It's really hard to see what's going on. Excuse me. Probably put my respirator on. That cough had nothing to do with the respirator, but made me remember it. on this little alligator clip like this. I may have to hit that again. All right. Respirator. This stuff is coming out like crazy. All right. Hey, sorry, what's up? What's up? Wing towing? The comes. What's it like once it's dry? I mean, it's a nice. It gives a nice coverage, and it seems to dry pretty solid. It's an ink based. Sorry, I got my respirator on. It's an ink based chrome, so it dries pretty quick, and it seems like it adheres pretty well. I did a test piece last night, and I'm just trying some putty to make sure the putty doesn't peel the chrome off. But no, it seems like it dries. You know, it's nice. It's not going to come off. It's pretty solid. I need to hit that one more time. Matter of fact, I'll just take this whole thing over there. Trying to manipulate. Ooh. Trying to manipulate these things individually is starting to become a pain. Too floppy. This chair out of the way too. But yeah, it's this AK Super Chrome. It's good stuff. I have a rattle can of Revell spray chrome, and it's nice too, but it's a rattle can, so it's a little difficult to use, especially for small amounts of stuff. One shoulder pad was looking a little flat compared to everything else. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty good. You do have to build it up though. Like I said, the first couple coats, it goes on kind of it's shiny, but it's kind of a matte, almost like a matte finish. But then if you thicken it up, you know, put a couple coats on it, it builds up to a nice mirror finish. Okay, so those were the easy parts. The rest of Iron Man is are some big pieces. I'm gonna take this mask off. I need to take a break real quick. Whew, it's hot in there. The rest of the pieces are kind of big and hard to hold. I've got them up on hooks because I can't put them on sticks. Hoodie off. Whew. So, yeah, that's gonna be a thing. But I managed to get it primed, so I'm sure I can handle this. it's getting up into the weird little nooks and crannies at the beginning. It's the hard part. All right, back in the mask. Need my hook. It took me a long time to find the right chrome. Like a long time. And I still bounce back and forth between a couple brands depending upon the need, like the functional need of the chrome, I guess. I see my problem. Oh God. It moved. My light source is behind my hand. Let's try that. Oh, that's much better. Probably way overdoing this, but it looks cool, so we're just gonna let it ride. Check this needle tip, make sure nothing's getting. Doesn't seem like it got any build up, which is nice. Yeah, this stuff is basically spraying ink, so there's no need to dilute it or anything like that. Oh, I have a visitor. All right, I'm back. What did I do with my respirator? There it is. There we go. All right, what was I? Got a cup full of stuff. Oh, I think I'm painting big parts now. Yeah, I think this AK Superchrome is it's not like, it doesn't seem to be like other pigment paints where it's got like metal flakes in it. It seems to just be a metallic ink all the way through. Like even when I mix it up, when I shake it, I'm not seeing any change. It's almost the same consistency all the way through. But who knows? It's just some paint magic, I guess. I'll take it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to work out a new lighting situation here. got some thunderstorm action. I don't lose power. Thankfully, I'm not printing anything today. Nice. I always hate having weather. Is that a? That's a chunk. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but I hate it when I've got a print job running and we get a power outage. That is never any fun. Hang upside down. Who sculpted the model? What's up, Bean? This is a Wicked. This is a 3D Wicked model. I got it from their Patreon, but I think they sell them individually on gumroad.com. Just you can find the Wicked page there, and you'll find this quarter scale Iron Man. Yeah, I gotta do something about this light here, because it's right in my way. But I need it centered and in front of me. I'll play with that later. More chrome. This one should be relatively easy to paint. You guys can see it. Yeah, so I gotta, oh, you know what? I need to mount this on this tripod arm. That's what I need to do. And I just need to get a brighter one. I may just invest in getting a brighter one.
I do a pre-support. I mean, sorry, no, I support the models myself. Sorry, I'm not looking over at the chats. I'm kind of focused on this. A while back, you recommended an air compressor. You remember the name of the compressor? I don't. I'm sorry. I do not. I mean, air compressors are. I would say, I would recommend. Ooh, God, I'm sweating. I would recommend though getting an air compressor with a tank, because if not, your compressor is just going to be running and running and running and running the whole time you're using it, and it gets very annoying and it's loud, and it's just constantly running. When you get a tank air a compressor, I'm sorry, get a compressor with a tank. It fills up what 3 liters, 5 liters of compressed air, something like that, and so you can work with it the whole time, and then it only you know the compressor only kicks on every 20 minutes or so. Probably not even that, depending on how hard you use it. So, highly recommend getting one with a tank, regardless of brand. I think I got a Master airbrush or something. Yeah, that's what mine's called, Master. Yeah, Master airbrush. But I mean, I don't know. To me, I've bought 3 of them so far. I bought one I just ran as just a straight compressor for a couple years. Eventually, because of the kicking on and kicking off constantly, eventually it did burn out. The second one I got was just a lemon. I don't remember what brand that was. And then I've got this. This is my third one. It's a Master airbrush with the compressor or with the tank. All right, it's gonna be a shiny Iron Man. I like it. Oh, and I'm sorry, Wing Towing, to answer your question. I'm sorry. I support my own files. I do my own supports because I use lychee. Use a lychee slicer, and it doesn't seem to like the pre-supported files that much. So some people have a lot of luck with the pre-supported files. So I mean, I would say try it if you haven't tried it already. I just like doing my own supports because I don't know, a control freak, I guess. I just like doing my own supports. I feel like I have a little more control over where the supports go. I mean, that's an obvious thing to say, but I mean, I feel like I I put a little more thought into kind of where I want the supports to be so that I can clean them easier. I can clear off the little support divots and stuff like that. Kind of hosing us on right now. What do I do with my hook? There it is. Is that a hair or a crack? Scuffing it up a little bit. spot. Oops, sorry. What's up, Dom? Sorry, I'm focusing on this right at the moment. It is a lot of chrome. Oh no, what is that? See if I can cover that real quick. That's weird. Oh, I must have hit something, damn it. On the plus side, I think this chrome's kind of forgiving. I mean, it definitely shows everything. Like I thought I did a good job, but clearly I did not. They're getting all the little imperfections and everything. I thought I did a good job. I don't think so now. Yeah, it's got a nice mirror finish. All right, I'm gonna get out of this. Oh, whew, out of this respirator. Yeah, because this thing is because this chrome is ink based. It's just flying all over the place. It's coming out faster than my airbrush box can suck it out. Damn, this chrome dries fast. Needle. sorry, this chrome, like I said, because it's an ink, I have to use alcohol to clean my airbrush, and it's also very, very hacky as it dries, even on stainless steel. So this is taking just a second. Oh yeah, like I said, dude, I can't, like, I know that once the effect is done, like once I have all the LEDs in, everything's red, once I tint everything red, I know it's probably not going to bother me as much, but there are some spots that I definitely just didn't even think about looking at until too late. And I'm debating on whether or not I want to go back and try to fix them, because I am kind of tired of looking at this project. There's a couple like little support marks on the hips that I just totally did not even think to look at. And now that I've got them chromed, I can see them pretty hard. Gotta decide. I want to double back. I have to sand it, prime it, and then chrome it again. And I got to be honest with you, the thought of doing that does not make me happy. You might be right. I mean, it is just one little spot, and it is kind of hidden up underneath his little hip thing. So it doesn't stand out, but it's not as pretty as it should be. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna let it dry, give it a couple hours to dry. It says, the manufacturer says that it dries in about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. When this chrome is fully set, I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. I mean, if this was a commission, like if I was doing this for somebody else, I would 100% go back in and redo it, or hit that little spot that I just noticed. But it's my statue, and it is kind of facing the back, and it's like you're not going to actually see it. So I think I'm just going to let it ride. Some cleaner inside of that airbrush. I'm not confident I got all that chrome out of there. All right. Yeah, no, this is still just me and my hobby. But I mean, when I take, I just have to be careful when I'm, taking beauty shots in my video. Just have to not show that his left hip. It's got some pretty nasty support marks. Sorry, still cleaning. Like I said, this chrome does not want to come out. All right, while those are drying, LED rings getting all jumped up. Oh, wait. Off. That's good over there. Oh, I can sit and relax a little bit. That chrome was a little nerve-wracking. So for the base part here, I think I'm gonna go with steel. Yeah, let's go with steel. Cut out a bunch of audio. Copyrighted music got whatever. I'm gonna go here with this Vallejo middle color steel. And old hunk of paintbrush here.
this Vallejo metal color line, it really stretches. Like, it really goes a long way. How would I approach painting a stormtrooper? They're mainly white, but it's really just not get a realistic effect on the white armor. I would, first of all, like, you're gonna want a warmer tone of white. Like, you don't want to go with just like a pure white. So you want something like deck tan, or just any kind of warmer white, off white. Any kind, maybe even like a bone. Nah, bone white probably be too much. But then you use like a bright white, like a super bright white, to do like edge highlighting and stuff to bring out the corners of their armor. That's where you're going to want to use that. I would definitely want to like dirty them up a little bit,
use some different washes, some mud, some brown, some black, you know, especially towards the bottoms of his feet. The bottoms of his armor close to his feet. Let's see. You probably want to chip the armor a little bit, you know, like add a little bit of chrome on the edges just to kind of show that there's like a metal, you know, there's like a metal underlay. So you want to get not like heavy. No, it depends on the model. If he's got like a lot of heavy battle damage, you know, you can lean into it that way. But even just regular wear and tear, you know, it's gonna have some chrome showing through. There's gonna be some little chip paint. So definitely want to do that. And I mean, and that's my personal preference. Like if you want like a super clean, you know, trooper, then you probably still want to do the off-white and the bright white highlights that I mentioned first. But you can skip all the weathering effects and the chipping effects and stuff if you want like a studio, you know, pristine stormtrooper. So yeah, that's what I would do. I have not had the opportunity to be a stormtrooper yet, but I probably will someday. I've got there's a model from Wicked of a stormtrooper on a speeder bike. I really like that. I might do a small version of that. One of those things, like if I wanted to, I was going to think about doing like a really big version of it, like a tabletop or like a countertop, coffee table size, you know, statue, because it's really long, like really long, but it's up on a stand, you know, so it'd be kind of cool just to leave it out on a table somewhere. It's gigantic. A lot of my problem now is like I don't have room in my collection. I don't have room in my house for all the stuff that I want to have in my collection. I gotta keep this paint moving. Would you use a gray? Yeah, a gray primer would be good. I mean, again, it depends on how heavy you want to go with like the shadowing and stuff. If you really want to add some heavy shadows, you could go with a black primer and just kind of build up from there. And it depends on their pose, like how he's standing. If he's like in a crouch or an action pose, it might be easier to do some shadow work like that. Start with a black, and then like a black primer, and then work your way up. But if he's just kind of standing there chilling like a studio pose, then yeah, you'll want to. A gray primer would be fine. I mean, whites and blacks and shades of gray, I guess. They don't seem to be affected by what you use as a primer color. At least for me, that's what I've noticed. Now, when you're using it as a base coat for like a blue or a red or a yellow or something like that, some other color that it is affected by the base coat, then a gray primer, has more effect. Or lighter color primer, I should say. But since, like I said, since this is primarily white, you may want to use black as a primer just for the shadowing. Unless you're just going to do your shadows with wash, or shade manually, or use a a pigment powder. A pigment powder is also a fun way to shade. If you haven't done that, a little bit of a mess, but it's entertaining. It's a fun little process. This part a whole lot of metal on metal here. Luckily, all this down here is kind of got a brushed metal look, so leaving brush strokes in the paint kind of blends right in. I'm clearly oversaturating it in some spots. hard to see this metal steel color going down on top of this chrome. It's just such a subtle kind of shift. It's really, really hard to see. It's hard for me to tell what you guys are seeing on camera because I think my TV monitor that I'm using is not calibrated correctly. I think what you're seeing is probably a little brighter than what I'm seeing. But I mean, that's good. That's still a good look. I'll take it. Anything that looks like metal is a compliment in my book. Definitely need to go in here with some wash. Wash this down and break it up. Smoothing out some little patches here. On a big old base like this, it's easy. Everything's easy to get to, within reach. Just a big old patch right there. All right, that's good enough. All right, so for these coils, I need like a copper kind of color. So let's see what I got in the copper department. 3D gold. There's brass, which I've heard also looks like gold, so I don't want to do that. I've got a weapon bronze, which kind of has a cool coppery kind of look to it. And then here's one just called True Copper. Bronze has a little more red in it. I doubt there's much of a difference. Go with True Copper. This, I'll use a square brush, but I haven't used that in a while. True Copper from Army Painter. All right, let's see here. So yeah, I actually printed the head, the arm, and the two arms in clear resin. The other parts, including the base, these were all printed by a 3D printing company that they're sponsoring the post. They sent me all the prints for free. So they printed this, and their resin that they use for transparent stuff is like I mean, it comes out crystal clear. Like it's pretty amazing. If you want, if you're trying to do a really high clear, I have used Anycubic high clear resin. And if you watch my shameless self promotion here, if you watch my video on what was his name, Sinister, Mr. Sinister. If you watch that video, I do a tutorial on how I made the high clear, and that's, you know, that'll probably help you a lot. I've been struggling with getting clear prints down for quite a while, and for stuff like translucency and things like that, the regular clear is fine. No matter what you do to it, it's still going to be a little foggy, but it's enough to like let light shine through, for instance, or to give it a little bit of transparency. But if you really want like a high clear, then there are higher transparency resins that you can try, depending upon the brand that you like. They pretty much all have some kind of high clear resin. The main thing is how you treat it afterwards. Like after it's you still got to wash it. You got to cure it a little bit. You got to cure it a couple minutes, and then you have to give it it needs another layer. So the printing process creates these little 90-degree angles in your layers, as it's printing. Obviously, it's like a cake. And so those little 90-degree angles, when they're covered in clear resin and they're still wet, they're really hard to see. I don't know if I like this copper or not. I may have to go to the other one. So you have to fill in those little 90-degree angles, because it's basically the reason why it looks foggy is because the light is being scattered. It's not being allowed to pass, kind of straight through the model or the piece. So yeah, so that's why. So you have to fill in those things, and the easiest way to do that, I found, is to just use a clear varnish. Once you fill it up with clear varnish, then it smooths out those little 90-degree angles and lets the light bounce through properly. I have a hard time talking and painting at the same time. I'm sorry. Yeah, so these are definitely going to need a couple coats. And I think I'm going to try that other color I pulled that I thought was too red, but now I think it's going to be the right one. Sometimes you just got to call an audible. All right, so this is weapon bronze. This has got a little bit more red in it, which I think will make it look a little more coppery. Because even with a couple, like right now, I've only got one coat on there, but I can tell that no matter how many coats I put on there, it's not going to look better. It's going to get kind of a brown. Well, I mean, I don't know. Now that it's starting to dry, it's starting to settle in. All right, well, let's give this a shot. It's not going to hurt. They're very, very close. I just mean that I'm rambling, and I apologize. I'm usually not a rambler, but whenever I'm concentrating on this, I kind of lose my train of thought, and then I ramble. All right, let's see what this do. But yeah, don't be like I used to. It sounds dumb, but I used to like dread printing and clear stuff because I didn't know how to finish it properly. But once I understood the whole voxel, the physics of it, of light bouncing around in a right corner angle. Like that makes sense to me. That makes perfect fucking sense. And so like once, like I said, some people will take, and I used to overwork them. So like like I used to do, some people take a clear resin and do a whole brush. Like they'll take out of the bottle and brush a whole layer of resin on there to fill those voxel lines. But I learned from another person on YouTube that the reason why that they never really fully cure is because if you're curing it out in the open, then it's like it's oxidizing, and so that's why it's kind of stays sticky. And so if you cover it in like plastic wrap or something, like saran wrap, then it will won't be exposed to the oxygen when you cure it, and it won't be sticky. So that's the way some people are dealing with it. But depending upon your application, or depending upon your need, that application could work too. I think it's easier just to brush on a coat of like a really high gloss varnish. Like just find a really, really nice high gloss varnish that you like, and slap on a coat of that, and then you can tint it. Then you can use your ink to do like to tint the transparencies. At that point, the ink's got a little something to grab onto, because obviously you're not priming it. So that varnish layer does kind of those two things. I gotta stop pushing it. The chrome is kind of making it float. All right, so it's a minor difference, but I do like that the bronze has got a little more red in it. But yeah, it probably won't even be really visible until I get the second or third coat on here. Yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to fill in a little bit. It's starting to look like something. Plus side, this chrome is easy to clean. Just overshot a little bit. Yeah, I got a little too much light on it. Yeah, I got it. It's definitely going to be a couple coat kind of situation here. shot. Yeah, because this chrome is alcohol based, these water based acrylics just kind of want to float on top. So it's like you got to kind of get one layer to dry. It's just a very thin layer. Oh, I gotta put the insides too. So much light bouncing around in this thing. Hard to see like what's painted and what's not. What is up, Bean? The Bean 3D? I'm just, you know, painting metal. How's the Sunday treating you? That's a question for everybody. How's your weekend? I hope it's going well. Thank you for spending some of it with me on this beautiful Sunday. Well, a few minutes ago it wasn't beautiful. We got a thunderstorm moving through. There we go. That looks good. But now it looks like the sun has returned. I don't know. I'm a cave troll. I spend all my time painting in my cave. Hard to see what's happening on these little inside flaps here. Right on, right on. Same here. I've got, so this project is a little bit more of a technical project, you know, like the surfaces have to be smooth and running the LEDs, running the electrical, all that stuff. But there's actually not a whole lot to it. You know, it's chrome, it's copper. I'll do the candy paint red on the, you know, and the gold. And that's basically it. So there's not a whole lot to paint. But you know, it's just about the surfaces looking nice. And then my next statue I've got printed already is a storm statue, and it has a lot going on. Like the base is crazy. There's like rocks and plants and electricity and lightning and transparent bits and smoke and fog and all kinds of shit. So that one is going to be more of an exercise in, you know, painting and color and that kind of stuff, which is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that project as much as I am this one. This one is just going to be weird because like this ring, you know, once I get it mounted inside of here, it's just kind of free floating, and the keys where the foot goes down, there's nothing for the key to attach to. There's nothing for the key to go down into. So I've cut the key off, and I'm basically just going to be just using some epoxy to hold this thing in place. I'm going to do the epoxy on, you know, on both sides. Hopefully that'll be strong enough to anchor it down, because there's nothing else to anchor it down. So yeah, that's a thing I've been thinking about really hard on the statue. Really thinking about how I'm going to do the assembly work on it, because it's going to be weird. I'm doing the Black Panther diorama from Wicked. Well, I'm not doing the whole diorama. I'm only doing Storm from that diorama, but it's the one with she's in her black costume with the gold trim. I like that statue. They have another one too. She's in the white costume. This white silver. I would probably make it silver. But it's got a whole bunch of like lightning bolts and stuff with it, and I really didn't feel like futzing with all that. The storm I'm doing, she's like got a couple little pulse looking things in her hands, but and then there's a couple bolts, but it's nothing super crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. I got it printed and the print looks nice. I did discover though that my M3 Max, the LCD is missing. It's got some dead pixels and it's causing problems. It's been happening for a while, and I've been slowly kind of like narrowing it down as to like what it could be. I've changed the FEP multiple times. I've re-leveled it multiple times. I've tried different, you know, curing times to see if I'm over curing it or under curing it. Maybe it's cracking because of that, but no, it's a persistent pattern, and so I know it's a bad LED or LCD screen. The LED screen. It's the LCD, right? Letting light shine through. Yeah. Anyway, the manufacturer that makes the those screens, they do not make that screen anymore. So I've got basically I've got a brick right now. So my M7 Premium though is really nice. So that's going to be my workhorse from now on. I'm probably going to pick up another one. Yeah, I did try to go look for a new screen. They don't make them anymore for that model. It's crazy. It's just a brick. I looked everywhere. Some people say that I can use a screen that's made for a Saturn, for Jupiter, an Elegoo Saturn, or Elegoo Jupiter, one or the other. But it's slightly too big, or maybe it's slightly too small, something like that. It doesn't quite fit. I mean, there are tons and tons of like, you know, half-baked solutions out there. But if I can't get an official part and fix it properly, then I'm probably just gonna get rid of it or sell it for parts. Except for a screen, I'll sell it for parts. Maybe somebody will want, you know. Gotta do a second coat on this. I don't know why I'm being so picky. Yeah, it does. It does suck a big one. But here we are. So yeah, so I'll probably end up getting another M7 if I have enough room in my cabinet. I need to take some measurements because my current M7, that's my primary printer, that thing kicks so much ass. I love it. It's so fast. I can't get over how fast it is. Like it just blows through prints. Nice. I'm painting here in the dark while I'm doing that. I guess, I mean, you're not really going to be looking at the base anyway. So yeah, I really hope this thing stays in place. Because basically it's just going to be this little piece right here and this little piece right here. It's going to be the only thing holding this thing down. But I use a 5-minute epoxy, 2-part 5-minute epoxy, and it's pretty stout, so I think it'll be all right. Like, it's pretty strong. was not the right one. Painting the wrong one. And once I get a little bit of, once I get some black wash on these to put the dividing lines back in it, it'll look nice. Yeah, let's see, I saw the model. Have you used the Uniformation G series machines? No, I don't. I'm an Anycubic guy, pretty strict. I started with an M4, little baby printer. I mean, like the build plate was like this big or something. Like it was tiny, but it got me started. You know, I learned the basics. That was my training wheels. You know, I learned how to change a FEP. I learned the basics of, you know, the hobby, how to clean. You know, I developed a process. You know, I got a little assembly line now that, you know, I'm pretty happy with. But yeah, that M7, man, that thing is killer. I know it wasn't cheap, but it was worth it. And that down too much. I like the metals to be a little thicker. Especially on something like this where, you know, you're not really going to pick up on any brush strokes in this middle here. I got the beans. I got my bean collection happening. Isn't there a third? I feel like there was a third bean. once upon a time. This copper color, this bronze or whatever it is, it's just floating on top of this. Just floating on top of this chrome. There you go, Bean123. That compressor sounds good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you'll definitely be happy that you got the one with the tank on it. Because, like I said, if not, man, that first compressor I used it for 2 years. I mean, that little compressor, it put in a good couple years worth of work before it died. But you know, when you're airbrushing and it's constantly trying to maintain pressure, that's when it, you know, it's just cutting off on and off and on and off again, and it's just like constant. You end up stripping it out faster. That the air tank just makes it a much more pleasant experience. I need to give these just a bit more drying time. So let's move on to this one. Watching this water-based paint just float on top of this thing. I wish it had thinned it down. I just went right out of the bottle with it. It's a little hydrophobic. Come back for that. just we put paint down in there and hoping it's okay. Well, this is underneath this foot anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, I think that it's settled down into a nice nice coppery color. All right. I suppose we can set that aside to dry. Oops. Stay with me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool. All right. So now this joint. Time to start getting some of this X27 on here. I got a whole bunch of little miniature tiny bottles, and then I got a couple bigger ones. So hopefully I have enough. Oh, and I need some thinner. Apparently you're supposed to thin it with this X20A thinner. Actually, though, I think I'm going to take a quick little health and safety break because I've been sitting here for too long. So I'll be back in 5 to 10. Now if I can figure out where my controls are. Yeah, it should be good. This is the first time I've done it, so I'm actually gonna start on this little test piece first to see how many coats of this I can put on, just to see, like, you know, what I'm gonna be dealing with. Because I do know that you can put on too much and then it gets too red and it looks like shit. So I think I need to figure out the right dosage of red. Also, I need to play with how to thin it, so I'll be doing a little bit of experimentation when I come back on that. Give me a couple. All right, I'm back, but I'm not fully back. So you do a 50-50 of the thinner and the red. That's probably a good. I'd say that's probably a good mix, good ratio. I was thinking about that myself. Biggest problem is I don't know how I'm going to dispense it. I think I have a pipette somewhere. I don't know where though, so I'm gonna have to. That's what I'm kind of doing right now, is digging through my stuff and seeing if I can find that pipette. Or I feel like I should have more than one. Usually when I buy these things, they come in like, you know, a bag of 20 or whatever. So anyway, yeah, 50-50 probably sounds about right. I'm just gonna do. Hopefully, I don't have to measure it out with such intent. Hopefully, I can just eyeball it. And then I assume alcohol I can use to clean my airbrush. I can assume that I don't need, or I'm assuming that I don't need like any kind of enamel or special cleaner, anything. If this ruins my airbrush, I will be very upset. But I think this alcohol cleaning will do it. And then I'm really interested to see how this liquid metal, this Vallejo liquid metal gold turns out. I got high hopes for that. I am going to have to seal this Tamiya Red, this ink. I'm going to have to seal this in, let it dry for a couple days, and then I've got like a triple thick clear varnish that is should be perfect to seal all this in and give it a nice high gloss shine. I just hope the gold will stick to it, you know, like after. Also, I don't actually, you know what, well, I'm gonna do my test. I'm gonna do my tester. I think I may stop after that and let everything dry, and then mask off the stuff that I want to keep chrome. All those little spots on the inside of the armor, especially around the arms, all that stuff I want to stay chrome. And I feel like it would be easier to just use some putty and mask it off and then spray the red. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I also feel like I should probably let that chrome cure overnight. So I'm just going to do my little test, my test spray today. And then I'll probably leave it at that, because I gotta let the base needs to dry fully before I start adding, you know, metal to it. What did I just do? Yeah, so anyway, I think that's gonna be the play for today. I was on for like 5 hours yesterday, so I'm gonna go get some air. I'm gonna go outside and enjoy some sunshine, I think. But I do want to get this to a stasis. I mean, I was gonna, if I do the full, yeah, I don't want to do the full red, because then I'll have to go back in and figure out how to paint over that with the chrome, and I don't want to like repaint chrome when everything's already chrome. So that means, yeah, I definitely want to mask stuff off. to keep the chrome in place, especially around the arms, the big stuff. The small stuff I can just, I don't need to decant it. I can just brush them on right out of the bottle. Probably be all right, as long as I load it up. For like small details, I can flood with chrome. And then, yeah, like I said, and then after I do the varnish, it's a rattle can varnish, but I think that'll give me a better effect than my airbrush varnish. So once that completely dries, again, a couple days, this is going to take all week, like, because I got to let stuff dry in between time. So the streams are going to be few and far between. And then basically it's just going to be, you know, just spraying one spray and then leaving it to dry. Yeah, I was on for a long time yesterday. I mean, I wasn't fully painting the whole time. The main thing I was doing yesterday was getting rid of the light leaks. So like for these parts that have the LED inside of them, they needed the light was, some of these little recesses and stuff, the light was showing through, so I had to go back in with the primer and block up the light. Is that a hair? Oh, that sucks. Well, okay. So now I've got 2 reasons to go back and check the surface, because I think there's a hair inside of the paint on the torso, and then this spot on the hips that I was looking at earlier, where I've got all these support marks that I didn't see. And on the plus side, the chrome is pretty forgiving. So if I use a high grit sandpaper to knock those spots down, and then hit it with primer, to level it out, then I can chrome. Yeah, I think I don't think I can live, because it's like it's right here in the front. If it was anywhere else but the front, I could probably live with it. Let me see. I don't know if I can see it, but like right there where my thumb is, there's a hair. I mean, you might can see it as a crack, but it's kind of a long one. It goes from the top to the bottom. It goes from the top to the bottom of the panel. So that sucks. Yeah, it's like right there in the freaking front. All right, I may have to go back in and do that. Dang it. Oh, I really hope I can blend that back in. I'll use like 1200 grit sandpaper or something. Well, that kind of sucks the wind out of my sails. Gotta sand that down, then prime it, and then chrome it again. And then I can mask the chrome bits I want to keep chrome, which that will take some time. And then I can start with the red. So I feel like I don't even want to try rushing it. Rushing to get the red red test done. Because now I know I got to go back and do all that, do that extra production work. Damn it. I'm just standing here thinking. Yeah, but I like to do everything kind of in batches, like in a batch process. And so it's like I don't want to move on to doing the red until I have the chrome right. And now that I see these spots that I'm going to have to go back, it's only 2 spots. Because these pieces, the arm and the head, those I've I've got in pretty good shape. I'm not there's nothing on those. Those are perfect. They're ready. These are ready for red. The legs themselves, from the knee down, those are ready for red. It's this little spot right here that I missed. There's like 4 or 5 little support marks. This was actually printed by the other company, so I kind of just took it for granted that, I didn't check it as well as I should have. I thought that it looks like they've done a pretty good job. So anyway, I'm gonna have to sand those down up in there, prime it, paint. And there's a spot right here next. There's a spot right here next to the arc reactor that I want to hit, one little thing. And yeah, it looks just like some hair got caught in the paint at some point in the process. I don't know if it was in the prime, if it was in the chrome, but there's some hair in there that needs to. I have no choice now. I gotta sand them out. Can't see it on camera, but I can see it. I mean, because this I could let slide. This I was gonna let slide because it's his leg. He's facing this way, so you don't see this side at all. But this is in the very front, and it's right there. And I hate it, and that's all I'm gonna see. So I'm not gonna strip it all the way down. Yeah, I'm not gonna strip it all the way down. I think I can just, if I can do a light sanding and just smooth that out and then prime over it again. the prime will, the primer will kind of settle. It's got a leveler in it that should level everything back out again, and then I'll chrome over, and then I'll just give this a whole, a whole nother coat. Chrome. Looks like I could hit this breastplate a little bit more too anyway. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. But I have to go back over into the sanding enclosure. I don't want any dust. See, that's another thing too, that sucks, is like now I'm going to be exposing these things to dust again. And so I got to make sure they're super, super clean. Yeah, I'll probably start with 1000 grit. Got a little bit more grab. But yeah, I just gotta polish it down. And then, like I said, the primer will kind of level it off, and it'll allow me to feather it, and then I'll chrome it again. It sucks because it looks so good. Except for those couple little spots. But I think I'm gonna end the stream here, go find a bite to eat, and then I'll do this correction off camera, so you guys can't hear me cuss through the whole thing. But I guess that'll be the rest of my afternoon. Then I just gotta let everything really I want everything to really fully cure before I, go crazy. It's not picking up anything off the table. And see, that looks like a dry spot too. Yeah, there's a couple little spots here where I didn't add it. I didn't shoot enough chrome. So see, it's like a powdery. It's like a powdery kind of chrome. Like it's still metally, but it's not quite as shiny as some of the other spots. So I just missed that little area right there. I need to hit that again. So yeah, I'm moving too fast. I need to slow down. Do another quality control check after I correct these spots. Sometimes I get so excited about getting it done that I, rush through and don't get it as nice as I could get it, And like this is the stage to do it. I mean, technically the stage to do it would have been before I chromed it, but I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised how forgiving this AK chrome is. Like, you can really kind of load it up, load it on there, and it doesn't run. I mean, I suppose it would eventually, but yeah, you can really kind of really coat it on there nice and thick. I may go through and hit some of the other spots too. So now that I can handle it without trying to balance it on a stick. All right, that's enough chatter. All right, I'm gonna punch out, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, take it easy.